Last night's fun!
Thank you for that mediocre ripple of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was beautiful. So we're Last Night's Fun. We're a pub band from the Northern Rivers, just over the border in New South Wales. We literally met in a pub, and we've been banned from several pubs. There's a list on our website if you'd like more information.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure to be here at Neurum Creek. This is my first Neurum Creek ever. What about the other band? I don't know. Brendan, is this your first?
I've done a few.
He's been... you probably know him. I'm probably preaching to the choir here. Jemima, this is your first, isn't it?
Yes,
And Rory. Rory's our token Irishman, ladies and gentlemen. He rocks on the Bowron.
He's the only real one.
He's the only real one. It's interesting. We've been a band for like 18 months now. We've played like 5 gigs, don't we? It's not. But I only first ever heard Rory play the Bowron about like 2 weeks ago. Because every gig we played is in like this hectic, St. Paddy's Day pub, basically. And the microphone's like getting knocked and there's beer spilling and so he's an amazing Bowron player.
All right.
This is an old Paul Brady tune. Come on, ye lads of Highland, that will hear of a fair young maiden, and she rode out of a summer's day. What a view the soldiers parading, they march so bold and they look so gay, the colours flying and the bands did play. Because young Mary for to say, I'll wed you, my gallant soldier. You're married to a person, and very so true-hearted. And when you saw her loyalty, and very so true-hearted, you suddenly knew and I might find. And you so far from your daddy's home, be advised by a gallant soldier. You're married, dear, your parents' love, I pray don't be unruly, for when you're in a foreign land, believe me, you'll rue it surely. Perhaps in battle I might fall from a shot from an angry cannonball. And you so far from your daddy's hall, be advised by a gallant soldier. I have 50 guineas in right gold, likewise a heart that's bolder. I'll lay them all and I'll go with you, me bold undaunted soldier. So don't say no, but let me go, and I will face these daring foe, and we'll march together to and fro to marry a gallant soldier. And when he saw her loyalty, and Mary so true-hearted, he said, me darling, married will be, and nothing but death will part us. And when we're in a foreign land, I'll guard you, darling, with my right hand, in hopes that God might stand a friend to marry a gallant soldier. So, you know, anyone feeling like a bit of a boogie? Yeah! Woo! This is not the song, so I shouldn't have said this one. But we are, you know, we are going to have people up dancing. It's going to happen. I've paid like at least 3 people. So, if you're feeling like a bit of a dance, don't be shy. I know you're not shy.
You are. Apparently it's their 10th year, and I know Rebecca
Gonna play some things on the guitar here. She's getting lonely, that's right. Come on, people.
And now we'd actually like to do as well, we, in the Royal Way, this is a song in Irish by Brendan at the far end there, who has an Irish name and is famous throughout the Northern Rivers for playing more instruments than he has teeth.
This is a song from this is a song from Lattimore in Connemara. It's got a little Peggy, and everyone wants to date her, so they all want to get to see her.
I live there.
Oh, guide him, he's a guide me, my store. A meal a crawl a man of me, she pegging Richard more. Ta chickens, she pegging down as far. Petty and Parry, I was in a caravan car. So guide him, he's a guide me, my store. A meal a crawl a man of me, she pegging Richard more. Where my scaler, Cherokee, got green, she bought more. Some scaler where she near her gun, not a child. So guide him, he's a guide me, my store. A meal a crawl a man of me, she pegging Richard more. Ta Iscalina, got a bird, she hit an air like choir. Let's all us jolly, get a noga reputation pride. So guide him, he's a guide me, my store. A meal a crawl a man of me, she pegging Richard more. I eat Sosa pegging a gashasser war on arch. Forward upward, but on August beg when she down. So guide him, he's a guide me, my store. A meal a crawl a man of me, she pegging Richard more. Oh, guide him, he's a guide me, my store. A meal a crawl a man of me, she pegging Richard more.
to introduce the rest of the band. So we have the lovely Jem here, who is the jewel in our crown. You see what I did there? Clever. And Rory down the end, his mammy sort of insisted we bring him because apparently he scratches at the door and howls and annoys the neighbours. So, and buys Guinness, buys a lot of Guinness. Yeah. And I'm just that annoying bloke that hangs around with the English voice. And we have the lovely Daniel here. He's not actually Daniel Champagne. He's more Daniel Schooner mid-strength with the tracks of chicken palmy on the side. Yeah.
You know, Ian actually said before the gig he's got friends in the audience that are going to heckle us, but it's not. There's no one heckling but Ian here, as far as I can see. Is my hair heckling you? Yeah, right.
It's full on.
It's so rare. Yeah. Yeah, glows. It's the lights. What? Just
Cheap,
natural oils.
cheap textures from Office Works.
We got last song, people. This is an Ellen pipe. That's an Ellen pipe. Ellen pipe. Ellen is Irish for elbow. We know you're going to know this one, so if you're not dancing, you have to sing at the very least. Okay? If you're dancing, you don't have to sing. But do both, is best. When I wake up, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And when I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And if I get drunk, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. Sing along. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. And when I'm working, then I know I'm gonna be the man who's working out for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I pass almost every penny on to you. And when I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's coming home to you. And I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. And when I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, yeah, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. And when I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's coming home to you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home to you. I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. Last chance, and I would walk 500 miles, and I would walk 500 more, just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. Thank you very much. Your last night's fun, hopefully.
A big hand for Brendan, Daniel, Jemima, Ian and Rory. Give them a hand. Last night's fun. We turned out not to be so mediocre after all. Coming up we have Freight Train Foxes, Georgia Scarlet, the Barley Shakes to get your boogie on, and JB Patterson. So don't go away. There is lovely warm mulled wine at the bar. There is